Number 26. Find the sample standard deviation for the grouped frequency distribution. Okay. This is the same grouped frequency distribution from question number 24. And if you notice, the standard deviation formula that I'm using is the one that I did in way number 2. Now, I can use way 1, I can use way 2, it's my preference. But for this one, I'm going to choose to use way number 2 because it's a little more easier. The only difference is between way 1 and way 2 is, or rather between 25 and 26, is that we need to work with midpoints. When we have a grouped frequency distribution, we need to work with midpoints. Also, each of these classes has a unique frequency, so we must consider the frequency a part of the problem as well. So this right here is the formula that we can use to find the standard deviation for a grouped frequency distribution. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug it into my TI-84 calculator to show you how to calculate it next. But first thing is first, we need the mean. But remember, we already found the mean in the last question. And let me reset it up, what we did in number 25, or rather 24, excuse me. There we go. That's what we did in the last question. Well, question 24, excuse me. Now we have to find the numerator. We have the mean. We have the midpoint. It says midpoint minus the mean. Then you are squaring that difference and you're multiplying that difference with the frequency. So let's add 2 more additional columns. Actually, you know what? We can add 1 more additional column. I don't think I need to add 2 more. This next one is going to be the frequency in parentheses. That's going to be the midpoint minus the mean squared. Let's put that in black. Now let's look at the first one. The first one, the frequency is 3. The midpoint is 34.5. Minus the mean of 56.5, and that's being squared. For the second one, that is the frequency of 16. Minus the midpoint of 44.5. Minus our mean, which is 56.5, squared. Frequency of 52 times our midpoint, 54.5, minus the mean, 56.5 squared. The fourth one, frequency is 16 times the midpoint, 64.5. Minus the mean, 56.5, squared. The last one, 13, times the midpoint, 74.5, minus the mean, 56.5, squared. And after that, we then have to find the sum of our frequency times the square of our midpoint minus the mean. So this is how we're going to do it. And be careful how you plug it in your calculator. Plug it in the way you see it. 3 times 34.5 minus 56.5. Close that up, square. Matter of fact, let's hit delete, hit equals. Then you're going to add that with, follow the same pattern. I'm going to hit second and enter. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to edit it. This is supposed to be 44.5. And our frequency is now 16. Now we're not done. Add, second, enter. We're going to change that 44.5 to a 54.5. Let's delete one of these. We're going to change the 16 to a 52. Enter. Now we're going to add. (16) parentheses 64.5 minus the mean 56.5. Close that up, hit square. Enter. Then the last one, add 13 parentheses 74.5 minus 56.5. Close that up and square that. And we get 9200 on top. Let's double check all our work. Okay. Now to finish computing the sample standard deviation, S is going to equal to the square root of our numerator, which is 9,200, divided by n minus 1, the total frequency minus 1, 100 minus 1. S is going to be equal to the square root of, that's going to be 9,200, and we're going to divide that by 99. Let's take three numbers after the decimal. Let's take one number after the decimal exactly. 92.9. And now we're going to apply the square root of 92.9. This is now just an approximation. So S is approximately equal to 9.6. Taking one number after the decimal. So the answer key says 15.8. So the answer key of S equals to 15.8. That is incorrect. And I'll also let your professors know, if you're in my class, now you know, that that is also incorrect. Now, to do this in your TI-84 calculator, like I thought I did earlier, you're going to go to second, go to stats. Oops, I lied. Hit stats first without hitting second. Go to edit. Edit your list. If you notice, this is the same exact information that I put in when I wanted to find the mean. You must find your midpoints first. L1 is midpoints. L2 is frequency. Make it a little bit bigger, actually, so we can see it better. After you do that, you're going to hit stats. Go over to calculate. One variable statistics. Second, hit 1 for L1, comma. Second, L2. So you want to hit 2. Hit enter. And there you go. S of X is your sample standard deviation. And round to one number after the decimal, that is approximately 9.6 as well. All right, guys. Hopefully that was helpful. It made sense. You understand how to do it by hand and also how to do it in the calculator. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.